Hello. I'm Bretton, one of our MCAT tutors here at Inspira Advantage, where he helps students get accepted into medical school and other professional programs. And welcome back to MCAT Bites. Today we're exploring cell specialization. This is the culmination of cell differentiation, resulting in cells with specific structures and functions tailored to their roles in the body. Cell specialization is the process by which cells develop scientific, specific features that allow them to perform unique functions. Let's start by looking at examples of highly specialized cells. Starting with neurons. These cells are specialized for transmitting electrical and chemical signals. They have unique features like long axons for signal transduction and transmission, dendrites for receiving signals, synapses for communicating with other neurons. Red blood cells, or erythrocytes, are specialized for oxygen transport. Their unique features include biconcave shape for increased surface area, a lack of a nucleus to maximize hemoglobin capacity, and flexible membranes to squeeze through capillaries. Muscle cells are specialized for contraction. They have numerous mitochondria for energy production, sarcomeres, which are the basic units of contraction, and cardiac muscles, intercalated discs for synchronized contraction. So question, why do mature red blood cells lack a nucleus? Well, it allows them to maximize their capacity for hemoglobin, the oxygen-carrying protein, and gives them their distinctive biconcave shape, which increases surface area for them to give off oxygen to surrounding tissues that need it. Now, let's dive into how cells actually become specialized. Like many things, it comes down to changes in gene expression. Different genes are activated or repressed to provide the proteins needed for specific functions. This results in structural modifications, where cells may change shape, size, or internal organization. For example, adipocytes, fat cells, develop a large lipid droplet or fat storage. We then undergo metabolic adjustments. This is very complex, as shown in this scary diagram. Cells may increase or decrease certain metabolic pathways. Liver cells, for instance, are specialized for detox and have a high levels of enzymes associated in this process. Then we have the development of specific organelles. Some cells develop unique organelles. For example, secretory cells have an extensive endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Cell specialization is not just about individual cells, it's also about how these cells work together. Let's look at an example in the pancreas. Alpha cells produce glucagon. Beta cells are producing insulin. Delta cells are producing somatostatin. And SNR cells are producing digestive enzymes. So all these cells are doing different important things that the body needs to happen. Ultimately, these are working together to regulate blood sugar and aid in digestion. Here's another question. What would happen if beta cells failed to specialize properly in the pancreas? Well, this could lead to insufficient insulin production, potentially resulting in type 1 diabetes. It's important to note that while white blood cells become highly specialized, they still maintain the basic cellular machinery common to all cells. This includes DNA replication and transcription machinery, protein synthesis apparatus, energy production systems like mitochondria, and cell membrane for selective permeability. The degree of specialization can vary. Some cells, like fibroblasts, maintain a degree of plasticity that can change their function based on environmental cues. Others, like neurons, are so highly specialized they lose the ability to divide. Cell specialization is not a one-time event. Many specialized cells need to continuously produce specific proteins to maintain that function. This process is crucial for tissue homeostasis and organism survival. To wrap up, let's review a few key points from this video. Cell specialization results in cells with unique structures and functions. Specialization involves changes in gene expression, structure, and metabolism. Different specialized cells work together in tissues and organs. The degree of specialization can vary between cell types, and ongoing specialization is crucial for maintaining cell function. Understanding cell specialization is fundamental to physiology, pathology, and many areas of medicine. It helps us understand how the body functions normally and what goes wrong in disease states. Thank you so much for watching our video on cell specialization, and I will see you next time.